Hey guys, yesterday I made a video and I ended up having some extra stuff, and this is going to really help speed up things today. So I have these mushrooms, green peppers, and onions already diced up. So I'm going to be making a small lasagna. Usually I make a large lasagna, and it takes quite a few resources. It does last a few days, but we end up having to eat it 2 or 3 days. So it just makes more sense for just me and Kayla to make this small one. And so we're going to use the same size noodles. We're just going to be using less cheese, less sauce, less noodles. So let's get going. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is get my noodles going. And I already have the pot set up over here. I've already got the pan set up for the sauteing of the vegetables. I have the noodles. I have that almost boiling to the point I could throw the noodles in. So it's not going to take much effort on these. What I want to do is, first, let's add the sauce to this pot and let it just cook on low. It already has some things in there. Let's see which kind I got this time. Let's cut this back eye on. Let's see. Boop, boop. Let's just have it on like 2, so it's just cooking really slowly. Alright, so perfect. This type of spaghetti sauce that I'm using today is, we might not need all the sauce, is garden combination sauce. So that's what we're going to be using. Now that we have the sauce in there, we can get these vegetables in here. That was so easy, man. It's so much easier than having to chop that stuff. Alright, perfect. So we have a little bit of olive oil in there. Now, of course, we need to add our stuff that we're going to be seasoning it with. A little pepper, a little salt. Today's Memorial Day. I know you're going to be watching this at a different time potentially, but I just want to say, give a shout out to all the people who fought and died for our country. All those brave souls. Just want to give them their peace. Alright, so we've got the back eye on, but we didn't have the front eye on. So we have that cooking now. I'm going to drop a few of these in here and just slowly add more. It's going to try to bring the temperature of the water down. Last time I did it foolishly, I just added a whole bunch at the same time. You gotta have patience. So I'm just going to add a few here. And dropping them individually, I think, is also a good thing to do, because you don't want them sticking together. Last time I had a bunch that were sticking together, real pain in the tail. So now I have these pretty much separated. I'll show you what I mean. Have them lay in at different points. They're just connected in the middle. This should be enough, I'm thinking. We're just doing, I mean, it's a much smaller dish. We're going to do, what, 2 layers, 3 layers at the most. So I think that's plenty of noodles. Let's just do one more just to be on the safe side. One more noodle. Here we go. Okay, all of our noodles are submerged and they're going to start cooking right now. So let's just take care of the stir fry. I've got everything covered with the butter and the oil. The oil's so expensive, man. I had to supplement with some butter for this. It's so expensive, it really is. Like $9 for that tiny little nothing. Let's check on our noodles. Starting to get loose and limber. Just flip those over. So now we have the most cooked ones on top, and we have the least done on bottom. All right, and we have plenty of olive oil in there. You had to use quite a bit on that also to keep those from sticking. It won't take long until those are done. Oh man, it's starting to come up, looking nice. Until the things are starting to cook. They're going to cook at different speeds. I think the mushrooms are probably going to be done first. So hopefully this is a good way to do this. Hell of a lot more convenient, I'll tell you that. It's not cooking fast enough. I just turned the heat up. There you go. You want that thing to be on at least 7 or 8. So it'll cook it rapidly instead of soaking up all the grease or butter or oil or whatever you're using. I think it's very important to taste your food, see what it tastes like. And that tastes like it needs a little bit more salt. Way too much. Alright, I'm going to take and separate these. One a pack. I really like getting these pre-patted so you can make ready hamburgers. That's what I'm going to do. Let's take 2 of these. already have a container out. I kind of shove them in this container. Alright, perfect. Oh man, we got to get back to these vegetables. They're cooking too fast. Let me wash my hands real quick. It's not that it was too hot, it just needs to be mixed up, it needs to be moved around while it's cooking. Remember, if you see any large pieces, go ahead and chop them up with your spatula. Looks like the noodles are almost done. Let's just make sure they don't stick together. We gave them plenty of room this time in the water so that they shouldn't stick together. And they're almost ready, I can tell. Needs another maybe 5 more minutes. As soon as I'm done with the vegetables, I'm going to stick it right there in the sauce. Baby, look at that. It's just a very versatile set of ingredients. I've already thought about 4 or 5 different ways that I could use this combination. Alright, I think the noodles are done. Wow, they are real close. Hot. Ooh, very hot. Very hot. Alright, the noodles are done. We can cut that off. Vegetables are done. I want to keep the pan hot, but not 9. That's way too high. Our sauce has been cooking this whole time on maybe 2, yes, on 2.5, so it's just barely warm. Now let's add our veggies. you're going to add water, the key is to just add a tiny bit so it doesn't take all the heat away from the pan. If not, you'll probably end up warping your pan. So I just add a little bit and then right back to the heat. Alright, let's clean off the spatula. Have everything cleaned off. Has paper in there to separate it. Oh man, it looks like some great sauce actually. Great coloration. Alright, and the flavor of the sauce is changing as we're heating it up and as we've added this extra ingredients. Let's give it a taste. Oh man, that's good. I don't think I need to add anything. Garden combination, that's a pretty good one right out of the can. And just added some spices just then by, you know, what was in the vegetable saute. Alright, so we're back to the meat. Don't forget to season. Throw that back on. I season it. I always do meat, like the hamburger meat, with Montreal steak. It seems to be the best one to me. And it has salt and pepper. Just do a little bit of garlic. Anytime you put garlic in the pan, I say this a lot, but it will burn really, really quickly. I didn't put a lot in there. Alright, get the heat back up. Let it drop way too low. Alright, I think that's a good size for this lasagna. Don't want it to be too small nor too big, so good medium sized chunks. What we have here. Alright, let's get our noodles transferred over. No. Sauce. We need sauce on the bottom, so we can't do it yet. meat's almost done. I'm thinking another maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes at the most. Keep it moving around so that everything's done. You can see it's a nice brown color now instead of some of it red. Tilt my pan on the angle and push the meat back so that the grease goes right to the bottom. So important to get that crap out of there. You do not want to put that in your food. It's going to be super greasy, nasty, terrible for you. I use paper towels to get it out a lot of times. So just let it run to the end. Use a paper towel. These Bounty are really good. Usually they suck a lot of it up. Just 1 to 2 towels. Very hot. This one's going to take 3. Looks like. That's 2. Still a little bit left. This will kill you. Will not do this with a cheaper paper towel. You'll probably definitely get residuals on your meat. You don't want that. Alright, this meat's done. The grease has been taken out. Cut that heat off. And now let's transfer over to the sauce. The sauce has been cooking. Still nice and warm. And the meat's in there. Once again, don't put a bunch of water in your pan or else you're going to warp it. Definitely don't put ice cold. Like this is winter time, that would be a huge no-no because we'd probably warp the shit out of that pan. Alright. That's still quite hot. Okay, let's mix it up. Let's see what we have here. I was really tempted to add this one more thing to the situation. And let's see. I wonder if I should do it. Let's see, we're at 25 minutes. I don't know. It's pretty close. See on my phone at 30 minutes. It goes over to a new video. If that makes sense, I have to post 2 videos. That sucks. Okay, so let's do this real quick before I have to use the second video. Alright, have the sauce mixed up. The noodles are cooked. Let's drain that. Alright, I strained most of that water out and I left a little bit in there. Okay, so oh man, that makes a huge mess. Mix that evenly. I'm going to add a little cheese. I don't have to, but it's going to help it. I'm definitely going to make sure I have enough to do really cheesy top layer. Alright, so that acts as like a binder. It's going to give it some stability, I guess is the word. Let's put a little bit more. Alright, perfect. I'll try to spread that out evenly if you can. That way you don't have to use a ton. Cheese is very expensive these days. Alright, now for the noodles. Alright, the noodles, here we are. Very hot. Very hot. That one's a little too long, it looks like. That water's got to go, so I'm going to get rid of the rest of this water. It's way too hot to even touch. Damn. Let's look at some tongs. I don't see some right off the top of my... there we go. Let's do... you might be able to get by with just 2 per layer. Let's get rid of this extra here. I'm gonna do a third one right there in the middle. Push those to the side. All right, I'm having to trim off a little 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, maybe a whole inch. Hell, I don't know. Yeah, it had to be a whole inch, I would say. So try to spread those out as evenly as possible. Let's do another layer of sauce. Now more cheese. All right. All right. Just tell me it needs more cheese. Another layer of noodles. Hot. super, super hot. You just don't have time to wait though. Doesn't that sauce look good? Sure does. And now, final layer of cheese. And then you want to throw this in the oven, 350, and let it cook. Probably going to cook for 20 minutes, I guess. I don't think I can put this in the little toaster oven. Let me check. No, it's just a little too long. I have to throw it in here, 350, bake, and